Great Duckworth's ghost, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Jacob Wile, too.
And welcome to another spooky installment of our DuckTales recaps. Tonight, it's a double header. We're talking Friendship Hates Magic, and then we're also talking about the, what is it called? The dangerous, I'm sorry.
The dangerous chemistry of Gandra D.
Right, that's a mouthful.
That it is.
All right, so of course, folks, also we are going to be talking the big Darkwing Duck episode in its own podcast tonight, right after this. So don't you fret, don't you worry. We will be getting to that, but we have to, we have to get through these episodes. We have to crack them out. We have to give them their due. But I don't know, Jacob. Basically, kind of just jumping right into the thick of things here with these two. I honestly like Friendship Hates Magic a lot. And then the other one, honestly, might be one of my least favorite episodes of the show.
I can see that.
Yeah, Friendship Hates Magic is, like, it's not amazing or anything. It's not like a showstopper of an episode. But it does have a lot of good, kind of interesting conceptual ideas behind it. I think it's paced really well. Of course, it's got an amazing Duckworth's ghost moment, which we'll get into. And then, yeah, honestly, the dangerous chemistry of Gandra D was, I don't know, it was kind of shy of being obnoxious on a House of the Lucky Gander type level. Like, it's not that bad, but I'll say this much. Never has Mark Beeks been more annoying than in the dangerous chemistry of Gandra D. Like, and you know me, Jacob, I kind of was into Mark Beeks a little bit in season 1. I mean, I didn't think he was amazing or anything, but I thought he even had potential to be maybe one of the big overarching bad guys of season 1. And man, here he is just I don't know. Let's build up to that. I don't know. What do you think, Jacob? Because we're kind of just we need to just sort of crack these episodes out. This podcast as a whole is just kind of like, all right, we've got one really big episode we need to get to, but we need to eat our vegetables before we get to dessert, if you will. Not saying either of these episodes are bad, but Jacob, should we start with the episode that's genuinely just kind of bad, or should we start with the episode that is kind of a good time?
Now let's just do what we did last time and go in order.
Okay, fair enough.
It only makes sense to go in order.
I really don't think we're going to have much to say about the second episode, so this should be probably a quick podcast, even though we're talking about 2 episodes here.
We'll definitely have more meatier discussion next time. For
sure. Okay, but yeah, Friendship Hates Magic. First of all, catchy title. Definitely liking what they're poking fun of with that one. And just generally speaking, Jacob, I really like the conceit behind this one. I thought they played around with the idea, in a number of different ways to show Lena's perspective of being Webby's shadow, and then kind of how she physically manifests herself throughout the episode. I thought all that stuff was really creatively done.
It was nice to see Lena again, too.
It was, yeah. I feel like she's kind of a presence.
She's one of the breakout characters from last season.
She was, and she's also just kind of importantly, she's one of the, it's cool that she's a kid, but she's not like completely over the top. Like, she's more level-headed, you know what I mean, than some of our other main kid characters. So I feel like she adds a good balance to the roster.
It was definitely nice to see her again. Like, it shows her, like, it's kind of sad to see her consigned to being the shadow, but she was content enough with it. Still, it's really kind of sad to see. It was also kind of interesting to see her. It was also convincing to see her get genuinely concerned with this new Violet character.
Yeah.
Violet. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna see more of her, but it'd be kind of interesting to see like them be like a kind of like a secondary trio almost.
Well, I mean, I think the trio thing worked out well for Gravity Falls, so I don't see any reason why not. I think, if anything, this could be a better trio than Gravity Falls was because Lena is a very well developed character, and I see no reason why if they stay on with Violet, which I'm not saying Violet has to be in every episode by any means, but I'm saying definitely have her be a solid supporting character in the Webby episodes. I don't know. I think both of the characters could be a solid foundation to have a good, really well developed trio of female characters in this one.
I think they could be a good outlet for like the supernatural episodes.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I'm liking how Webby is kind of becoming the go to for supernatural stuff.
something even she points out, like, why must all my sleepovers end in a supernatural disaster?
Which, of course, we haven't really brought it up in a while because I feel like it's gone without saying for a while. But oh man, can we just compare how much of an improvement this Webby is over the original Webby?
Yeah, but without going into much details, yes.
I mean, this Webby. What I love about this Webby is that they don't do anything to ditch the girly girl quality that the original Webby had, but they make it so much more palatable.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
All right, Jacob. By far, the two best things about this episode. One, let's talk about it. Duckworth's ghost coming in with a blaze of glory, man.
Oh yeah.
So remind me, it's been a couple hours since I watched the episode. Remind me exactly how that gag goes down.
Well, I mean, it's been a couple of days since I've seen it, but the way I remember it was like she was like worried about she's like what Webby was doing was that she was like trying to clear all the supernatural stuff away from her room so she could present herself as as some kind of normal girl for Violet. But in her haste, when Violet knocks on the door, she sends Duckworth's ghost after her to open the door.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
And so when she realizes what she did, she just rushes down there and like basically just like slams something down on him. He just like angrily dissipates to the ceiling.
So it's just a very dramatic, like, oh no, Duckworth's ghost is coming. No, Duckworth's ghost. Jacob, of course, what was running through my mind, obviously. Like,
Yes.
oh God, if this character sees the horror of all horrors, the ungodly abomination that is Duckworth's ghost.
Violet will be scarred for life.
Exactly. We don't want that.
Of course not.
Oh God.
Nobody should
loving this Duckworth's ghost runner.
Nobody should subject themselves to Duckworth's ghost. Only for the brave.
Oh God. But yes, in all seriousness though, Duckworth's ghost, man, he just he keeps getting interrupted, he keeps getting pulled out of his vacations. I think he's planning his revenge, Jacob. I think Duckworth's ghost is ultimately going to be the Thanos of the Disney afternoon cinematic universe. I think he's going to be the one to cause the snap.
Oh God. Oh, that'd be definitely be a twist. Oh, and Monkey's here.
Oh, hey, Monkey.
Like he's like saying, "Violet, you're turning violet, Violet." And now he's saying Duckworth's ghost rated NC-17.
Pretty much. I mean, no, honestly, NC-17 is like NC-17 implies that certain people can watch it. Like Duckworth's Ghost is not for anyone. It's just
NC-17's above R.
Yeah, I know, but it still implies that an adult audience can watch it. What I'm saying is Duckworth's Ghost is a Lovecraftian abomination the like of which we've never seen.
Oh, this gag will never get old. We'll find new ways to milk it every time he appears.
All right.
But anyway.
Yeah, again, I mean, I don't have that much to say about the episode. Like I
One
said,
thing,
I like I
one thing
like
I
the perspective changes. The where we get Lena's point of view, and it's interesting that like basically Lena, everything is normal. Like Lena's the only normal thing, and she's surrounded by a bunch of like kind of like weird ectoplasmic environment. That was interesting. That was really
it's
well
kind
done.
of, it's kind of interesting that there's no technical antagonist in this episode. I mean,
Yeah, there really isn't,
other
unless
than
you
those like
count Duckworth's Ghost.
other than those supernatural things, I'm forgetting their names. I'm blanking on
Right.
their. I'm blanking. They're like Lumas or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that's not Lumas because that's the thing from Mario Galaxy, but the name's just blanking on me. But it's just kind of interesting that they reveal that then when they're actually born from Lena's jealousy, it's revealed. It's like Violet actually turns out to be kind of a legitimate friend.
It kind of had like a Ralph breaks the internet type moral to it.
Well, Monkey points out on a more serious note, it seems like the Lena episode would have been right before the Lamp episode production wise.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense because it builds up the fact that Scrooge has this room full of random treasures and stuff.
Hmm. I wonder what the production codes are on this. I'm not going to check it out right now.
I definitely look into the production codes for the next episode though, because the next episode I'm wondering if the last two episodes were written before Della's return.
It's maybe.
Because I feel like it's going to be a minute before we ultimately sync up in terms of production order and airing order with the Della storyline, and have Della be like like a focus of pretty much I don't want to say every episode, but
Oh,
I don't know. Basically it feels weird when we see the nephews, and like Della just got back. Like I don't know.
yeah, it's like they were following production order up until they were having to Della Duck, which was 207. Treasure of the Found Lamp was 209. Outlaw was 210. 87 cents was 211. Golden Spear 212. Nothing Can Stop Della Duck was 213. Raiders of the Doomsday Ball was 214. Friendship Hates Magic was 208. So yeah, it was produced. Technically, it kind of was produced before she came back.
Uh-huh.
This episode was made before she came back. Gandra D was 215,
Oh, okay. So
which
that
is
is
after
after she came back.
Doomsday Vault.
Okay.
And there's no confirmation on the production code for Duck Knight.
Gotcha. Speaking of Duck Knight, we have to talk about the great Beakley and Launchpad bonding moments.
Oh yeah, it's like in this episode when like they were trying to Webby was like mentioning to Beakley that she doesn't have any friends, and so she tries to basically force a new friendship with Launchpad. And when he
Let's see, who here do I not hate?
well, I mean, she definitely couldn't befriend Ducksworth's ghost because we know she's not very fond of him. Probably because of how terrifying he is.
Well, yeah, I was about to say Duckworth's ghost is a Lovecraftian abomination. So.
Yes. And when it's kind of interesting, what sparks their friendship is when when he sees her reading a book that he thinks is about Darkwing Duck.
Mhm.
But it turns out to be something like the Scarlet Pimpernel or something along those lines. I thought it's based on Scarlet Pimpernel in real life, a classic masked hero, which sparks him into getting her into Darkwing Duck. By the end, though, at first she seems like it's a bit apprehensive, like she finds it a bit on the hokey side. But then at the end, she realizes the cliffhanger, which we actually learn what it is later on. She realizes that she wants to actually make the ending herself with Launchpad's script. Her with herself dressing as Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, that's great.
That was definitely a good running gag.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that kind of joke has been done before numerous times, but I always love that kind of joke.
It has been done. You're right. But I feel like it's one of those jokes that always works.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not like done all the time, like once like a season or even a show.
Yeah.
But it I mean, especially with someone like Beakley. Beakley's earned her chance to have some kind of goofy side.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, I mean, to the ending, I guess. I mean, it was nice to see. I mean, throughout all the complications and stuff, it's nice to see Lena actually come back to the real world.
Yeah, I like how the episode played it really dramatic. If it was going to be like a goodbye for Lena, or if she was going to come back, or what. I really liked that element of it. They genuinely kind of kept me guessing.
Yeah, so some parts of it were almost played for like almost a genuine horror. Almost. I mean,
Uh-huh.
not obviously not to extremes, but it like played out kind of like a standard horror scenario. But seeing her come back was actually nice, and seeing the girls at the end actually bond over their shared taste was actually kind of fun. Like all that makeup stuff going on. It was nice seeing them all interact with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I wonder what this means for Magica, like how she's gonna react to Lena coming back to life, or if she even knows.
I don't know. I feel like we're not going to get any big Magicka stuff in season 2. I feel like there's already so many kind of cliffhangery type stuff that we've established in this season that we need to wrap up. That Magicka feels like a season 3 thing, kind of like what Daredevil did, where they took a season off from the main villain.
Well, yeah, and it kind of suffered because of that, but this one isn't really suffering that much so far.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Magicka is no Wilson Fisk.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that. Obviously, I mean, she obviously appeared in it. I mean, Fisk obviously appeared in it a lot more than Magica did.
Yeah. All right. Anyways.
But yeah,
Okay, so yeah, the dangerous attraction of Gandra D.
yes.
I'm just really not big on this one, man. It's got a couple cute bits, but that's about it.
I mean, I personally don't. I personally don't put it in my. I put it in the lower end, but I wouldn't say absolutely despise it.
Oh, I don't despise it either. I don't really despise any DuckTales episode, but I definitely, like you said, it is in my lower end.
I mean, I'd probably like it slightly more than you do. I mean, but let's just go on and see where we go from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a couple good pros to it. Like, obviously, Lin-Manuel Miranda being the main character and it was good. You know, we get a good range of emotion out of him. You know, it was a cool exploration of Gizmo Duck, of course. You know, kind of seeing the day-to-day mundanity of Gizmo Duck. That was a nice change of pace for the character.
It was actually nice. It was actually also nice to see him kind of legitimately angry for once.
Sure. Yeah, it was a good. That scene where he blows up is definitely a. I feel like it's a very cathartic. Like, yeah, like you tell her, like she really messed with you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's very cathartic in that way. Let's see, and then I mean, there is some solid stuff here and there. I like the interaction with the mother.
Yep.
I
mean, even though how brief it was.
It was brief, but you know, she I don't know, she's fun. What do you want from me? I'm just
I mean, for how kind of annoying Mark was throughout the episode, I had to admit his whole out form and his ultimate plan was actually pretty interesting.
Really? Because I didn't really think it was all that interesting. I thought it was kind of like Jeff Bridges at the end of Iron Man. It's just kind of like, suddenly he just kind of turns giant just for the sake of power and just goes raw, and that's about it.
I mean, I like how. I think the whole Iron Man thing is slightly more subtle than that, but that's an entirely different topic.
Well, I'm just using it as a point of comparison, Jacob. I'm not actually trying to talk about Iron Man.
I know. I mean,
Um, I mean, it was a good use of gyro. I'll give you that much.
there's not really. As you said, there's really not much to talk about in this episode anyway. This is more of a filler more than anything else. It seems, other than
Oh, it definitely felt like a filler episode. I mean, it's like, look, I would be surprised if we didn't see God, I'm sorry, Jacob, I'm terrible with names. If we didn't see Violet. I'd be surprised if we didn't see Violet again, because we did a decent job of building her up, and Webby kind of needs new friends. But I honestly would be relatively surprised if we saw a lot more of Gandra D. Like, I think at the most she'll become like Seuss's girlfriend in Gravity Falls, where, occasionally we'll be reminded that she exists, but that's probably about it.
yeah, it's probably to the extent of it. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, definitely Wheeler's the right word here. I mean, like I think the most valuable part of the episode for me in terms of plot progression was kind of getting the Gizmo Duck kind of like a day in the life of sort of like the mundanity, and I guess it was kind of like it was a solid episode in terms of establishing a pseudo status quo for superheroes in this universe going into the next episode. You know what I mean? I feel like that's probably the most important thing that it does bring to the table.
And the fact that a lot of people actually know who Gizmo Duck is. Did you notice? Like, there are a lot of people that actually know who he is.
Right.
It's like at this point, there's pretty much little point. There's pretty much little point in keeping his identity secret anymore.
So yeah, I don't know. I like with Gandra D, the title character, I just didn't really think she was all that interesting. I didn't think the chemistry between her and Fenton was all that relatable even after the turnaround. I don't know, man. This one just kind of fell flat for me. Like it doesn't it's not as bad as House of the Lucky Gander, but it's just kind of boring. Like I don't know. In some ways, it's like my philosophy, Jacob. At least House of the Lucky Gander kind of pissed me off a little bit more than this one did. This one, I just felt nothing watching it, and that to me is almost worse.
It's almost opposite of the sum of the parts.
Yeah, right. I mean, like I said, it's like there are decent bits spread out here and there. Gyro's oh, you will rue the day. That was great. That was a great cutaway. I feel like this show's getting really confident with its cutaway gags, and they use them sparingly, but they use them really well.
And then at the end, it's like, what happened here? Like I noticed you're definitely liking Gyro a bit more.
Yeah, no, that's 2 episodes in a row where Gyro is honestly probably one of the better parts of the whole episode, if I'm being completely straight with you.
Which is definitely a major turnaround from how you felt about him before.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm not afraid to admit that I can change my opinion based on writing.
Don't get me wrong. I know exactly what you mean.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think of the chemistry between Fenton and Gandra? Like, did you think that they had any sort of spark at all?
If there isn't, that might have been. If there isn't, that might have been the point of it. She was kind of leading him on throughout the majority of the time.
I know, and that's why I can't really get invested in the romance element of it at all, really.
I mean, who knows? I mean, it has potential, but we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. So sorry, bro.
This is just the first time we're ever meeting her. I mean, so we'll see how it goes from here. I mean, I think this kind of thing is too. I mean, as far as this episode, if it was just this based on this episode, I probably couldn't see it working. But if we introduce her more and they like work it in better ways, maybe.
Of course, one thing we have to talk about is Huey's angelic singing voice. Who knew?
in,
That
in
was
Italian,
fun.
in Italian, no less.
Yes, yes.
I wonder if that actually was Danny Pudi doing that.
Oh God, I highly doubt it. But if it is, I'm very impressive.
I don't know. I don't think anybody was credited as his voice,
Oh
as
God.
a singing voice. So, well, for all we know, it could be him.
Uh,
But either way, I mean, definitely impressive nonetheless. I think honestly we could have, except for the Gizmo Duck stuff, could have cut them out from it. Him and Webby out of the episode. I mean, especially
yeah,
during the whole.
I don't. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Except for the whole stinging bit, their forced interactions with them and like resorting to the guidebook kind of felt kind of forced and cringy almost.
No, I hear you. I'm not arguing with anything you're saying. You're pretty much spot on. Yeah.
I mean, if they were there for the Gizmo Duck stuff, that would have been fine.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, that's one of my major complaints with that. I mean, Huey did that. I mean, don't get me wrong, him consulting that and him ultimately failing was good for comedy, but it just kind of dragged it down a bit, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think Huey and Webby were used pretty good. Other than that, like,
All right. So
like,
listen, guys, I hope that no one's watching and being like, "Oh man, the this episode in particular really struck a chord with me, and it's my favorite episode of DuckTales, and I really can't wait to hear Jacob and Tiki just break it down in their in-depth way that they do." If you are that person, folks, I sincerely apologize. I really do. I hate to let down my audience, but at the end of the day, there's really not much to go over with this one. I think, Jacob, is it fair to say this is at the very least probably the least inspired episode of season 2?
probably so far. I mean, how many episodes are we in? I mean, this particular episode's 15th, so.
Yeah, somewhere along the 15 zone. Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
I mean, if you're talking about favorites, my least for me would probably still be the Depths of Cousin Feathery episode, but
Yeah, I didn't dig that one either. I think I liked it maybe a little bit more than this one.
I mean,
I think Monkey, that's one of his favorite episodes of the season, which, that's kind of a weird take from Monkey, but all the more power to him.
no, maybe I'll have to rewatch that one, but I mean, I don't know why, but I just have to rewatch that. But
no, but I hear you. That one I kind of just felt like, all right, that just kind of came and went to a certain extent.
I mean, this season's been full of great episodes. I mean, the game night, Duke Bologna, Three Caballeros.
Uh-huh. Storkules and Duckburg wasn't great.
I mean, it was decent. I mean, it was better than these.
Yeah, that's true.
I really enjoyed Last Christmas.
Last Christmas was great. Whatever Happened to Della Duck was really good.
Treasure of the Fountain
Phantom Lamp was solid. Outlaw Scrooge McDuck was great.
87
Solution was okay, but it was better than these.
Golden Spear.
Golden Spear was good. That one we agree it kind of could have been broken. It could have been a little bit better. Like both of the subplots could have been their own episode, but other than that, it was good.
Nothing
Can Stop Della Duck. Really, really solid episode. Raiders of the Doomsday Vault, another solid one.
And as we just discussed, Friendship Hates Magic, Probably on the lower end of these ones, but still good. And this one more lower than others.
Yeah. All right. So that's about it, folks. But I'm probably gonna guess here that most people listening right now don't really care what we have to say about these episodes. They care what we have to say about the Darkwing Duck episode. So rest assured, folks, in about 5 or 10 minutes, as soon as we switch over the Hangouts and send out the link and everything, we'll be good to go. And we'll be talking Darkwing Duck. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime,
that episode alone will be probably have enough as much discussion as these two.
Oh yeah, easily, I think.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Duckworth's ghost.
Lovecraftian abomination.